Yeah.
That's right.
Sometimes my house is what, a quarter of a mile from here, and it's like, oh my gosh, only got 15 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
Right.
It should be,
Yeah.
it could be 2 minutes, but it doesn't also be 2 minutes. We are recording whenever you're ready.
Okay. All right. Well, I will go ahead and make a motion to open our meeting.
Second.
Member Shannon? Aye. Member Powers?
Aye.
Member Vanderswag?
Aye.
Member Buda?
Aye.
Chair Cook?
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right. So there are a few things on the agenda tonight. We've got, looks like 4 applications to look at, 2 for 45 Monroe and 2 for 9 West Jefferson. And then we've got some resolutions and draft minutes to approve. Before we jump in, does anybody have any other member items that you want to add to the agenda? Okay.
Maybe by the end.
Okay, well, we can discuss it at the end, but at this point, nothing. So based on that, we'll do our conflicts of interest disclosure first. Does anybody have any conflicts or potential conflicts to disclose? I don't, based on this agenda.
I do not.
I do not.
I do not. I do not.
Okay. So in that case, I guess we should move on to the first item on the agenda. So we're talking about 45 Monroe, and we've got 2 applications that we're looking at. One is the proposal to enlarge the existing garage, and then the second is request for an increase of the total lot coverage. So we've got the applicant here. I understand that you've got some updates for us after having seen the Historic Preservation Board and
Yes, correct.
okay.
Correct. So, when we came up with a plan and we went to the historic board and they looked at the plans and they hated them. And so kind of together, we kind of tried to figure out the best way to make this happen. So what was decided, sort of, kind of, because they can't actually look at it until I go back to you guys to see if you'll accept it.
Yeah.
Is that we leave the existing garage basically untouched, with the exception of the back where the horse stall is. That the roof would continue, the existing roof would just continue over that. And then we would put a small garage set back a little bit so that it always, so the garage itself is on the historical record as some sort of, I don't know what you say,
It's conforming. It's on, yeah, it's not non-conforming, so we have to keep that.
so keeping it basically the way it looks. So the thought there was if we put a little small garage that looks like a little annex to the garage. So the front garage would have like a 12-foot door. I can't remember now, but the little garage would have a 9-foot door. It would be set back. The front garage, the existing garage would have lights on either side and make it prominent, just as it is now, and the other garage wouldn't. So unfortunately, when we did that, it meant that I needed a little more footprint to do that. I need a little bit more space to get a full, because what we were trying to do before was make it just big enough for the 2 garages, you know, but unfortunately to do that, it made it look weird. So the weirdness factor of that really, I mean, we could do it, but they did not like that. And then the option would be then to tear it all down and start over again. And they did not say that we could tear it down. It's not deemed necessary to tear it down. So now I'm back to you guys for a little more square footage. And
Where's my careful?
so.
Site plan approval.
Site plan
Yeah.
approval, so those are my two, so that's the agenda that I'm on. So we're leaving the existing garage and putting a small garage next to it. That's it.
Okay. Well, thank you for the update. That's helpful. I was a little bit confused. I said,
Yeah.
Haven't we
I thought
done
we
this?
took care of this last time, yeah.
Yeah, you guys said sure, but
Oh,
it didn't really work.
I see, okay. All right.
Is it that horse, that little stable across the back, is that staying?
The space will stay, but not the building itself. So Steve came out and looked at the building.
Uh-huh,
And that portion of the building is not in good shape.
uh-huh.
That portion of the building never was. It was kind of a lean-to stuck on the back of the
Right.
garage.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Right.
So that we could redo that space by putting a new roof over the top of it, basically. So the shed roof on the back of that was not, I have all the drawings here. We would just extend that.
Yeah. Yeah, right now it's sort of a lean-to structure, so we
lean-to.
just take the existing roof and
It would just
extend
make
it
that
out.
existing roof longer, so it
Right.
looks like it was.
yeah.
So it looks like it always was that way. The garage was that big.
Right, so the footprint doesn't change, but
No.
you'll build up to the,
Correct.
Roof.
We will just extend that roof.
okay.
Mhm.
And
Makes
then
sense.
from there, then we would put a smaller garage next to it.
Uh-huh.
And that would give them the 2-car garage, it would give them the ability, like we had talked before, about being able to put the cars away. then
Right.
In essence, being able to turn around, all those things that providing more safety and stuff like that. Just,
Mhm.
so we kind of hit all of those things by doing this.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it just took up a little more space. And we're still trying to keep, if we can have less driveway if we can get in there with less driveway, the least amount of driveway is what we're going for anyway. There's, the coverage changed, because we had to change that, the total lot coverage.
Right,
So the total lot coverage is 32.4% with the extra driveway.
Hmm.
But at any point that we can make it smaller than that, we would, because they have kids and they want them to play back
Sure.
in this big ass talk, but whatever.
Yeah. So you're asking for a variance and lot coverage up to
Up
that
to.
amount, but it doesn't mean that you're
Yeah,
required.
No, I'm
to.
not trying, I
Yeah.
don't want to use that, as a matter of fact, I'm hoping to use less. but
Sure,
That is the plan.
makes sense.
We're,
Yeah, go ahead.
so is that, do we have it indicated what that driveway as drawn, what that square footage is, like how we get to the new? I guess I'll subtract the new number from the old number.
So the new addition is 315 square feet. What's 256? Is that the whole thing? Or the drawing? I don't know what that is.
Oh, this is so small.
Susan, Susan, look at this one right here.
Oh. Oh,
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
The 256, I believe, is the square foot of the additional driveway.
That makes sense, okay.
Okay,
And then the square footage of the building is 315 square feet.
The addition.
The
the
addition,
addition, yeah.
correct.
And what's 571?
That's the total.
The total,
too.
okay.
the total buildings.
The total building and the driveway.
The total additional
Addition.
square, that's the total
And the
additional
driveway.
coverage.
So that would be the total additional coverage.
Over what we approved last time.
No, that's not.
No, over what's existing.
Over what's
Over
Over what's existing, okay, got it, got it. That makes more
Approved
sense.
last time was, approved square feet before was added square feet before was 221.
Okay,
So approved total square foot was 673.
So we're just going from that, is that 29, almost 30% new total lot coverage to 32.4?
Correct.
Okay, Yep.
And what was approved last time was 28.91.
I have a thought about this, if it's okay for me to jump in here. And that is, since this board already granted an approval for this project, and you sent it back to the HPB and they wanted some changes, and now, to me, it looks like an amendment of a prior
that's what
application,
I was
more than
thinking.
a new application. And I think
Yeah.
that, conceptually, the resolution will make more sense. And the analysis will be a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
If we treat it as an amendment as opposed to a new
Yeah.
application.
To the variance and the site plan?
Yep. One at a time. First, we do the variance.
Right,
And you could treat it as an amendment to the prior approval that you granted back in July. And then they do the same thing for the site plan, reciting the fact that you had approved, you sent it back to the HPB, they requested these proposed changes, which is why the applicant is returned with this additional modification to the prior approval.
Right.
Really.
yeah.
Any chance that HPB is going to not like the new drawings?
I'm not clairvoyant.
Well, I mean,
So that,
I guess.
I fully think that they will. We did it as a information only. I had, because I had this thought after I had looked at the drawing, and I'm looking at what I was proposing, I was like, I really hate it. So it's like, I really don't, yes, it did do what, we stayed in the parameter and everything, but, and so I ran back home and I did another drawing, and that's when I came up with this.
Okay.
This one, and so I showed them this, and I explained to them it would be a little baby garage on the big garage, and this would still, and that seemed, everybody seemed to be very
Yeah.
in favor of this.
And you won't need a height variance either.
right,
Well, yes and no, because you can't, it is less than the existing, but it's, I think it's over what is allowed on anything. It isn't.
Well, and we did grant the height variance
Right.
already, and
Right, and that's-
we're not
Right.
changing that.
No,
But that
and
doesn't need
that's,
to be amended.
You're right, yeah.
and it will be shorter than that. Because it's gonna stay underneath the existing.
Right.
Right.
So, just so that I'm clear, I'm sorry to interrupt, the HPB did not give you a determination, you just went before them
can't.
for,
They can't.
because
until
they
I-
weren't looking at the same plan that you.
No,
had
because I have to go before you guys first, and they can't look at it until you guys say it's okay.
Okay,
They looked at it for information only, but they can't deliberate.
you can.
So they didn't
Yeah.
deny the prior.
No,
They deferred
not.
it.
They tabled
They
it.
just deferred
We
it, so
tabled
that,
it, yeah.
they tabled it, okay. Got it.
So my understanding, it's been deferred pending some amendments to the previous
Right.
approvals,
Got it.
and then they will reconsider, or well, not reconsider, but
So
we'll consider it.
So
for
I'm
the
back
next-
on the board for them on the 15th
On the 15th,
of
okay,
this one. So I can go back and do this.
okay.
But part of this, one of the board members actually came up with part of this too. She was like drawing it. I'm like, oh, you mean like this? And she's like, oh, yes, like that. I'm like, oh, okay, good.
All right. Do any other, any members have any additional questions for the applicant before we open up the public hearing? All right. Now, since these are not new applications, but we're construing them to be amendments to the previous approvals. But I think we still do need to open the public hearing.
Yeah,
correct? Okay.
why not? You're already here.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and make a motion to open the public hearing on these applications to amend the previously granted approvals.
second,
Member Vandersloot? Aye. Member Loda?
Aye.
Member Powers,
Aye.
Member Shannon.
Aye.
Chair Cook.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, anybody here in the room have anything you'd like to speak on with respect to these applications? All right, and do we have anybody online?
We do have participants, but no one has raised a hand
All right,
or nothing in the Q&A.
we'll just repeat, well, I guess not repeat, but say for the first time tonight, if anybody that is participating online wants to speak and as to these proposals, please click the hand raising button or put a comment in the chat. We'll give folks a second just to see if anybody does so.
Nothing.
Okay, well, sounds like we do not have any other, any public comments on these, so I guess I will go ahead and make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Member Powers,
Aye.
Member Shannon,
Aye.
Member Vandersloot. Aye. Member Loda,
Aye.
Chair Cook.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Well, let's, I guess, start with the, should we start with the area variance and then do the site plan, or should we do the site plan first and then the area variance?
Area variance.
Area
You should do
first.
that in order to approve the site.
That's true, okay. So we'll do the area variance too. So the area variance is a request to amend the previously granted approval to increase the total lot coverage. We're going up to, it looks like, 32.4% with the additional driveway, over what was just under 30% before. I think a lot of the analysis, we can probably rely on the analysis that we did before. I guess I would say that this amendment does, I don't see any reason not to grant it, given the explanations and the facts provided to us by the applicant. But let's, I guess, go through the analysis to just, make sure that we're doing it right here.
Chair, do you want a fresh copy or?
Actually, that'd be great. If you've got a fresh copy right there, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So we'll be, the request is to amend from 29.85% to 32.4%. Which is obviously over the maximum coverage of 25% in this district. So I don't think anything about the request for amendment changes our analysis about whether this is subject to seeker or is a type 2 action, or changes our conclusions with respect to Monroe County planning review or waterfront consistency review. So I guess the first issue is whether the requested variance will or will not work an undesirable change. Our previous determination is that it would not. My inclination is that there is nothing about this that would change that determination. Does anybody disagree or think there's anything else we should discuss on that?
No, only to add that I think the preservation of the original garage is positive.
Yeah.
Good thing.
Yeah, I think it'll work better.
Good. And then as far as the benefits sought can or cannot be achieved by some other feasible method, I don't think there's any reason to disturb that conclusion, especially given that the HPB expressed some reservations about the other plan. This seems like the most feasible way to achieve the goals of the project. We previously determined that the 29.85%, essentially just under 30%, was, I believe, not substantial. Or did we determine that it was substantial, but it was justified?
There's a copy.
You
of
said it was
in
not
front of you.
substantial.
Okay, that's what I thought.
In what you said last time was that the requested variance is not substantial and that the proposed increase is approximately 1.4% over the allowable 25%, which is minimal and consistent with other pre-existing conditions in the village.
That should be 3.1.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
Yeah.
seems,
I'm reading from the
Yeah,
draft minutes.
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
yeah. So we're going from essentially 3.5% increase to, I guess it would be about 7.5% increase roughly. My inclination is to say that it's still not substantial, especially given the conditions in the village where it's pretty common for properties to have much higher lot coverage than even what is being asked for. But what do members think? Do you think that this is something that we should find is substantial?
I mean, it's tricky.
I know.
I mean, there's no, is it 5%? Is it 10%?
Right.
It's substantial. I do think when over 5%, I guess
Begins
it
to start to
yeah,
look substantial.
it feels bigger. But I think it could be substantial and okay. Substantial and,
I mean, am I correct in saying that the difference is 5.69%? I mean, that's what it looks like, but I could do that wrong here. But 32.4 minus 26.71 is 5.69.
You're right, yeah. I think I stated
yeah.
7.5 before. That's
Right,
not
it's
correct.
7.5
Yeah.
over the allowable,
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
like over the 25%.
Yeah,
Right.
7.4%.
right,
Yeah,
So-
about 7.4%.
yeah, so I do think that's meaningful, but fine, but okay.
Yeah, could you say that it is not minimal but consistent with other pre-existing conditions? I'm just trying to make it fit in
Oh,
with your prior approval.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we can say that.
yeah. Are you?
Is
under-
there-
Yeah, I think I'm
Yeah.
in agreement with that.
Is there data that shows how often this is, the coverage is over the 25% and in the
Wow, at
village?
every board meeting,
Every time.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. It is the exception that there is a property that is not over.
Right, and historically, the village was constructed before the zoning ordinance, so most of the properties are pre-existing non-conforming.
Yeah. But in terms of, is there like a survey or something? I'm not aware of that. That would be interesting at some point to see if there is data on that.
Statistics, I guess,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think we can say that the variance is not minimal, like we said before, but still not substantial, given the entire character of the property and everything.
And
And of
the
the neighborhood.
neighborhood, yeah.
So the next one is whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical and environmental conditions of the neighborhood or district. With this relatively small increase over what was approved last time, I see no reason to disturb that finding.
And all your drainage was kind of internal to the property anyway, so, right.
As far as whether the alleged difficulty is self-created, I would say that it's not self-created because the previous plan, the HPV expressed reservations about the previous plan. So sounds to me not to be self-created, but I don't know if we can say that since they only expressed reservations and didn't formally deny it. I think last time we said it was self-created, but that we felt that that was not a substantial, not a sufficient reason to deny it, given everything else. So I guess I would say that I don't think that anything in the request to amend changes that determination.
Yeah, would it be fair to say that the applicant voluntarily seeks expansion, but the HPV expressed reservations about the approved plan?
Yeah,
And this does not preclude granting the request?
yeah, I like that. I think, yeah, we can say that, yeah, the applicant is voluntarily seeking this in order to address reservations expressed by the HPV. And then the variance is or is not the minimum necessary to provide the relief. I think we can say that it is the minimum necessary to provide relief because the relief that we're trying to provide, or the goal that we're trying to accomplish here, is a project that will be approved by HPV and will preserve the existing structure. I don't think that those things can be done without what is being asked for here as the minimum.
I think I agree with that. Yeah. Mhm.
Let's see. And then the next two considerations are if there are any physical characteristics of the property that are relevant to this request and whether there are any additional findings to be noted. I don't think there's anything that would change our previous findings on that, on those two.
Do we want to mention the historic
That's a good point.
standing
Yeah.
of this?
That's a good point,
of the
because,
road? Because that has, that
yeah,
was the first
so,
domino.
yeah, that's a great point, Susan. Maybe we should say, a physical characteristic of the property that's relevant is that the existing garage has some historic value that the HPV has noted. And so the applicant's desire to amend the plan to be able to preserve the existing structure
Right.
is
Yeah.
relevant to that physical characteristic. It's a great point. Okay. Now with that, I think I would propose that we grant the request. Does anybody think there are any additional conditions that we should add to the approval? I am inclined to say no, but open to hearing if anybody thinks that we should.
I mean, wasn't our condition before the approval of it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think we should add
Monkey with
additional
that.
ones, is what I'm
Okay.
saying. I think we should leave the conditions that we.
Okay. Okey-doke.
And so the total lot coverage will not exceed the numbers now.
32.4.
30, yeah, instead of the
32.4.
28 or whatever it was, it'd be 32.4,
4%.
yeah, 32.4%. Okay. Well, with that, I will
We
go.
just said, I'm sorry to interrupt
Sorry.
again. We just said one more thing. I think that it's good practice to reference the date of the revised plans so that there isn't any question about.
Yeah, good
exactly
point, good
you're
point.
approving.
August 11th.
Maybe right at the end with the 32. Right.
Oh, as shown on the approved plans
Yeah.
dated.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, perfect.
Yep.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and make a motion to grant the application for the amended lot coverage variance.
Second.
Okay. Member Shannon,
Aye.
member Powers,
I,
member Vanderside,
Aye.
member Loda,
Aye.
Chair Cook,
Aye,
motion passes.
okay. So,
I'm sorry, August. what?
11th.
11th, thank you.
You're welcome.
all right. So we've got the area variance taken care of. Now we can look at the site plan review. Seems to me that the changes are relatively minor over what we approved last time. And let's see.
Here's a fresh copy if anyone
Oh.
wants to follow.
Okay. Thank you.
It has some answers in there from the last one.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I don't have a copy in front of me of what we decided on each of these last time, so, oh, it's in the packet, okay. Let me see. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. So, again, I don't think there's any reason to disturb our findings as to seeker, Monroe County planning, waterfront consistency, or approval from state or county agencies. So I would say we go right ahead to, the other considerations. First is that the building inspector has reviewed the, yeah.
Shouldn't that be 32?
Yes, yes, you're right. We'll need to change that. Total lot coverage of 32.
That's the last ones, wasn't it? Was that the draft of the last?
I think this is a draft based on last,
Right.
so it's based on,
Approval tonight
Oh,
to.
right, but yeah, so we'll need to make sure we change that. That's right. Okay, building inspector has reviewed the project for zoning code compliance. Sounds like there's no issue there, and the applicant has applied for the required variances. So second would be the waterfront consistency. Or I'm sorry, not the waterfront consistency, but the village comp plan and the local waterfront revitalization program. We said before that it maintains the architectural character of the property and surrounding neighborhoods while enhancing the utility and aesthetics of the garage structure. I would say that
I would say, well, preserving
even better, yeah.
the historically designated garage.
Yeah, I agree. As far as the adequacy and arrangement of vehicular traffic and circulation, we said that the expansion would allow for improved vehicular functionality with access maintained via the existing driveway. I think that's still true, although we want to say via the expanded driveway, slightly expanded, if necessary, driveway. Let's see. Fourth, adequacy and arrangement of pedestrian and bicyclist access and circulation. we said that it remains unchanged. I think that is still true. Fifth is compatibility of proposed use to adjacent use. We said that the residential garage was consistent with the surrounding residential use and compatible in scale and design. I believe that that is still the case. Adequacy of off-street parking and loading and access. We found that the proposed two-car garage would accommodate off-street parking and no loading zones were required. I think that's still true. The design has changed slightly, but it still is providing off-street parking for vehicles. Yes.
I have to go back to 2.
Oh, sorry. Yes, please.
Because we've said that this is not in the area of the LWRP. So how can it conform with the LWRP? So just, it conforms with the comprehensive plan, period.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe we should say it conforms with the comp plan and the local waterfront revitalization plan does not apply because it's not within.
Right, or it's just, or it's not subject to the local waterfront.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think
because
that's
it
fair.
sounded like it was,
Good point. Yeah.
like it conformed,
Right. No, that's a good point.
sorry.
No, that's good.
You know, that's always a flag for me, the
Yeah.
LWRP.
For sure. Let's see, we're talking about 7, adequacy of landscaping and screening provisions. We said that existing trees and vegetation remain largely unaffected. There was some minor tree removal. Has that changed at all?
Yes.
I think there's 2 trees coming out now, right?
They want to take two trees down. I think they want to just take the trees down, but they've had a contractor go back and look at it. He's afraid that if he gets that close to the other tree, it will damage the tree system. root
Right.
system.
And they're both pines.
Yep.
How tall are they?
70 feet.
Yeah, they're a menace.
Yeah,
They're huge.
yeah,
Yeah, one little windstorm and
yeah.
Um, Yeah, and the thing is that originally, 20 years ago, there were probably 10 of those pines there. Some of them not on that property, but on the property in the corner. And they clear cut the lot. So that left 2 trees standing alone, which is they're less protected now.
Oh, right.
But I've also had people come in and look at the trees and they go, those particular trees have they have a taproot. That's not how they're coming down. But they'll come down when they do this.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason to deny based on the tree removal. I think I think our finding remains unchanged. We can maybe say that there is some tree removal, but that we don't think that the tree removal renders the landscaping and screening provisions inadequate. Anybody have any other thoughts?
There's a whole row of arborvitaes that protects it from one side.
Mhm.
Big view, and those trees are 20 to 30 feet high, so.
Yeah. Okay. So next is a location, arrangement, size, and design of proposed signage. We said that was not applicable. I believe it is still not applicable. Next was adequacy of outdoor lighting to address safety concerns and prevent light trespass. We noted that the carriage style lights proposed on the garage and the lighting was expected to be minimal and residential in nature. I think that was still true under the.
That's still
new
true,
plan.
and even more so, I think we had 3 lights before, now we went
Now
down
only
to
2,
2.
yeah.
And the lights on the other garage, we'll just put in the soffit, like a little can.
Oh,
to
sure.
light that up, so, because we really don't want that, we want the garage to be the prominent thing.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. So I'd say that's unchanged. Anybody have any other thoughts to share on that? Okay. All right, so the next is adequacy of drainage and stormwater. We found that the drainage is managed on site and flows toward the existing driveway. That seems to still be the case. Yeah, and Steve our building inspector, has not expressed any concerns about drainage in the new plan. Adequacy of waste.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, can we pause for a second?
Please.
Because I lost, the Zoom.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'm trying so hard not to say things. Really, last time I was here, I'm like talking the whole time. So it's like, no, they're supposed to talk. Okay, yeah, right. I
we
forgot.
understand.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be quiet at some point. It's very hard for me. Very difficult.
Well, this process can seem kind of tedious because we make all these motions, and approve, we have these steps that we have to follow and hoops to jump through. So you can sometimes, yeah, it can seem like we're dragging it out. I promise we're not dragging it out
Well,
on
I'm just
purpose.
like, usually I'm like commenting on things, and it's like, ooh,
Yeah.
this isn't a comment period. Oh, sorry.
So it is still on there, but it's not recording, but you're still visible to the public. If you just give me a second, I want to make sure.
Yeah, we want to make sure we're recording if we can. All good? All right. Let's see, we were talking about 11. So 11 is adequacy of water and sanitary sewer systems. We found that to not be applicable. I think that remains the case. Same with 12, adequacy of waste and trash management plans. Similarly not applicable. Next is the adequacy of snow removal plans. We found that driveway access and maneuverability for snow clearance was maintained. I think that's still the case, potentially even more maneuverability, if anything, given that there may be a slight expansion. And then next is whether the proposal will adversely affect the health, safety, and general welfare of adjacent property owners and the community. We found that there was no reason to anticipate any adverse effects, and that the project was an aesthetic and functional improvement to the site. I think that we would find that still to be the case. If anything, maybe even better than before, given that there is now going to be an effort made to maintain a historic structure.
Can we just add that this is, since it references adjacent property owners and the community, can we just reference that this functional improvement is confined to the site?
Yeah.
So it doesn't,
Yeah, I think that makes sense. We can maybe also note that there have been no comments from the community objecting to or raising any concerns. Good, and then the last is that the fire marshal reviewed the site plans and raised no issues. That appears to still be. Anybody have any other thoughts on this before we go ahead and vote? All right, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve. Sorry, Susan. Oh, thank you. Yes, we approved previously with several conditions. That one was that the HPB would grant a certificate of appropriateness. Second was that the site plan approval would expire if they don't get a building permit within 1 year. Third was that the drainage from the proposed garage must remain on site and not impact any neighboring properties. Fourth was that any changes to exterior lighting shall be submitted to the planning board for review. And any structural changes beyond the approved plans would require additional planning board review.
I didn't see lighting in the draft, that was certainly.
No, and so 3 and 4 of the previous were left off.
Right.
Yeah,
Drainage
you're
and
right.
lighting.
Transferred over, yeah.
Right.
I guess I would say that I don't think there's any reason to change any of those conditions. I don't think that the request for amendment changes the considerations on any of those conditions. So I would say we should leave them unchanged unless any member has reasons to.
And you want to add in about the drainage and the lighting to this one.
Well,
Number 9.
yeah, I would say let's just leave it unchanged from the previous
It's not there.
approval. Yeah. Yeah, so let's make sure we just carry over the other,
So we need 4 and 5.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, 3 and 4.
3 and 4, yeah.
Drainage
I
and
was just
lighting.
looking at the numbers, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, could we just say conditions as approved previously?
Yeah, 'cause there's no amendment.
That might be cleaner.
6 of one, half dozen of the other. Just be consistent, that's all I ask.
Okay. All right,
Put it all in there.
okay, yeah, I don't have strong feelings one way or the other. Okay,
Well, if you don't have strong feelings, then you might as well reiterate the conditions, so
Okay.
that's explicit.
Yeah,
Alright.
you know, somebody going back to look at these materials, they would, this is the first one they're gonna come to, and
True.
it should be complete without having to reference another.
right. The other way to do it would be just to stick a copy of the old one
Right,
on it and say, we amend the following findings or whatever. But I think it makes sense to just do a new resolution that they can rely on, or a new approval, a new resolution, rather than requiring them to look back at what we approved
Right.
before.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, I'll go ahead and move to approve the decision on the site plan, or approve the request to amend the site plan as discussed.
Second?
Okay.
amen. Right. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I was done, but
Member Powers?
Aye.
Member Vandersline?
Aye.
Member Shannon?
Aye.
Member Loda?
Aye.
Chair Cook?
aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, good. Well, congratulations. Good luck with the HPV.
See you again.
Yeah, hope it goes well and you get all your approvals and you don't need to come back here.
I hope I don't.
Not that we don't like seeing you.
You guys are great, thank you very
No,
much.
here's the site plan. Sorry, and I marked on this because it had the wrong number on the top.
Oh, that's, yeah, I just wanted to do the old site plan.
All right, so next on the agenda is, we've got 2 applications related to 9 West Jefferson. We've got a site plan and an area variance. Why don't you folks come on up and have a seat wherever you're comfortable and give us an overview of your project, what you're doing here.
Good evening, I'm Mark Bayer with Bayer Landscape Architecture, and I have Molly and Adam Bates, owners, with us tonight. And thanks for hearing about our project. It's a pretty straightforward project at 9 West Jefferson. We're basically just doing some enhancements to the site landscape. And essentially, there's a new stone patio and some new walkways. There is a garden pavilion that'll be open on all sides and providing shade for like an outdoor dining. There is there's a fence adjustment so that we can capture a little bit more of the side yard and bring it more into the private backyard zone. And they're related to that, we're actually creating a small enclosure for the trash and so on as part of that. And then we're doing lots of planting and just improve the grading and drainage as part of that. And essentially, what we'll have, when we're done, I mean, I think the improvements really aren't going to be visible from Jefferson at all once we're finished with this. And even now it's limited visibility. The Bates, they also own the property to the east. They own 7 West Jefferson as well. So I think all in all, these are all positive enhancements of the property. We do need, as you know, an area variance for lot coverage for this project. One of the things about that, currently it's just under 31%. We need to go to about 34.8 to do these improvements. I think there's a strong case to be made, and you can run through these if you'd like to do it, but all of the test questions that we typically do. But I think, there's really, in our assessment, there's really not a neighborhood impact or environmental impacts with this type of project. We're doing a lot of positive things in that light. I think, as far as the lot coverage goes, I think one of the unique things about this being a very historic property, it has 2 existing outbuildings that are pretty substantial. There's the existing carriage barn. There was a chicken coop at one time. And those are big contributors to lot coverage on the site. I think they're almost 7.2 or 7, almost under 7.5, but still big contributors to the lot coverage. And we did a lot of studies on how to approach this project and, concluded, the way we're doing things in terms of placing the outdoor living areas on toward the east side of the house and adjacent to kitchen, it all makes sense. We don't really want to start just disturbing those historic outbuilding areas at all. So I think all in all, again, if you typically like to go through your various questions on as a board, or I can talk about those if you like, or not.
I thought that the letter you provided was very helpful. I don't want to make you sit and repeat it word for word.
I don't want to do that either. If you had time to look through it, I think we try to be thorough in our assessment, and so I think that's great. If you're comfortable with our answers, that's terrific.
Yeah, no, it's a nice application.
Yeah, I thought that was very helpful.
Yeah.
Good. Done a few of them.
And a killer project, wow.
Yeah.
Love, yeah. And I would just ask a little bit about the proposed plantings.
Sure.
I guess, hopefully many natives.
Many natives.
Yeah.
We typically, in our planting plans, we try to incorporate a lot of native plants, just for all the environmental benefits and habitat, even though it's quasi-urban habitat, we still do it. In fact, I was on a conference call this morning about one of our projects, and buffalo, and there was a concern because they had so many birds that had come to the site as a result of it there. But that is part of what we do, and we do, as well as providing privacy, we're trying to enhance habitat for, birds and wildlife.
Yeah. So I would say that the, the environmental impact is positive.
Yeah.
Given, new variation and new natives, and it's all, fabulous.
Yeah, and drainage wise, we're also, one of our standard drainage practices to create some infiltration areas, so we're going to grade in that way so that it will plant according to, the areas that are taking drainage will be using herbaceous plants to help absorb and do all the good things that we can do to cleanse and slow stormwater.
Yeah.
Great.
Can you drive do you use the carriage barn as a garage?
We do.
So you
yes.
so you come in the driveway and then you go, "Rrrr."
It's a straight shot back.
Is
It's a
it?
narrow kind of one-car driveway,
Right.
brought in slightly in front of the garage, so that you're able to get 2 cars in there. And then there is a small turn area as you're coming in the garage to
Wow.
back up, so.
So you're not backing out onto Jefferson.
No.
Right.
I tried to.
When we can avoid it.
Yeah.
That is a trick.
So the increase from about 30.7 to 34.8 is mostly the walkways? I mean,
It's, so what
And
what it is,
the paved
we
pavilion.
have the pavilion, which I counted, and
Yeah.
that's roughly, it's almost 400 square feet if I count the roof of the pavilion.
sure.
And then the additional, we're doing the additional walkways to connect all the parts. And those make up that additional, it's about an additional 830 plus or minus square feet. The pavilion's about almost half of that.
Got it. The what's called the parking court on the
Yeah.
plans here, that's already there.
That's
correct?
already there, we're actually cutting out a little bit of the concrete to kind of.
Oh, yeah, to straighten that edge, yeah.
Yeah, so that's there.
The plan is kind of small. What materials are you using for the patio and the walkway?
We're gonna use, we're either gonna use it'll be some sort of a stone paver, either a concrete kind of nice ornamental paver or a natural stone. We haven't decided yet, but it'll be a nice landscape paver.
So there's pavers though, so there's joints in
Yeah, so it's
between,
gonna
so
be
it's not
joints,
all
yeah.
impermeable.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
the only concrete is the existing concrete
Okay.
that's there.
No, that's good, yeah.
Yeah, and actually we're cutting a little corner off.
Right.
Right.
So,
Right. Right. So it's not 800 square feet of impervious.
Right.
Impervious,
Yeah, that would-
impervious,
yeah,
that's the thing, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, I think technically it's considered impervious under the code, but it's not.
It
Yeah,
helps, it helps.
it's not all asphalt.
No, it's not, yes.
Pavers
you're
have
right.
joints, so they
Yeah.
can go.
So it's, yeah, it'll be done well. And again, one of the things as I mentioned, we always try to do, the big concern, as you know, with impervious coverage is drainage and runoff.
Yeah.
And so we are addressing that because of the way we're going to grade and plant the site. And there'll be little or nothing that leaves the site. And we're going to cleanse what does and infiltrate it.
Yeah. Great. Well, any members have any other questions for the applicants before we open the public hearing? All right. I'll go ahead and make a motion to open the public hearing on these 2 applications then.
Second.
Member Vanderswag? Aye. Member Powers?
Aye.
Member Shannon?
Aye.
Member Loda? Chair Cook?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Anybody here in the room? I mean, John, you're the only one here.
Sounds wonderful.
Okay. Good. Do we have anybody online? And just for the benefit of anybody watching, if you would like to speak on this project, please click the button to raise your hand or put a comment in the chat that you would like to speak.
We have one attendee that's no Q&A, no hand raised.
Okay. Well, I will go ahead and move to close the public hearing then.
Second?
Was that you?
No, it was me.
No.
That was member Shannon.
Member Loda?
Aye.
Member Vanderswag? Aye. Member Powers?
Aye.
Member Shannon?
Aye.
Chair Cook?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. So the first issue to look at is the area variance for the lot coverage, and then we can move on to the site plan. So let's see. Oh, yes.
Come around.
Thank you.
So on this one, the kind of preliminary findings that, you know, they're asking for an area variance to allow construction of patio, garden pavilion, walkways, privacy fence, and associated landscaping, which would result in a total lot coverage of approximately 34.8% in the MDR, medium density residential district, with a maximum permitted coverage is 25%. We've reviewed the application and heard from the applicant. We've held the public hearing. We find that it is a type 2 action, not subject to seeker. And that it is exempt from county review under General Municipal Law 239M and the 1994 agreement with the county. And then it is a type 2 action and not subject to waterfront consistency review. Anybody have any concerns with any of those?
The only thing that I would request, if I may, is that in the second whereas clause, if you could reference the date of the application. The application dated July 29th, 2025.
Yes, good point. Okay. So the first consideration that we consider is whether the requested variance will or will not create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby properties. Sounds to me like it would not create any undesirable change. Seems like the screening is very good, that most of the project is not visible from the street. And that to the extent that it is visible, it actually is going to be an improvement and look a lot nicer. So based on that, I'd say it does not work any undesirable change.
We could say it enhances,
Enhance, yeah.
you know, the aesthetic qualities. It's aesthetic and environmental. Ecological, what would you prefer?
Either one, environmental's fine. Yeah.
Nature, I guess, of the property.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But we should talk about the neighborhood or nearby properties in this section, not just the improvement to this particular property.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it's basically not visible from the street.
Right.
It will have privacy fencing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the application explains that it is with the fencing and landscaping, they're largely not be visible from the street or from any neighboring properties. I don't think that we have any reason to doubt that representation, given the plans that we've seen. So as far as whether it can or cannot be achieved by some other feasible method, the applicant submits that there are no other feasible methods to achieve the same functional and recreational benefit without the requested variance. Given the existing constraints of the lot coverage and the fact they've got the historical outbuildings, the carriage barn and the chicken coop. So they're trying to preserve those structures, move the kind of recreational space away from that, and create a space where you can do outdoor dining, that sort of thing. I would say, you know, the benefit sought is to have an outdoor dining space, and you can't really do that without building an outdoor dining space. So I would say that the benefits cannot be achieved by some other feasible method. Now, one question I wanted to clarify, I think I understand, but just confirm for me. The roof is like a full roof. It's not just like a shade.
It'll have a regular roof, gable roof.
Got it, okay.
412 pitch, and we're keeping the bridge height at 12 feet maximum, so we stay within code.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's open on all sides. It's basically just a nice shade place to, you know, dine outside.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, it sounds like the benefit is to be able to eat outside even when there's weather.
Exactly.
Which you can't really.
That's Molly's request.
Yes, which you can't.
Which does a little bit around here.
Yeah, exactly. You can't do that without building a roof. Okay, so as for whether the variance is substantial, we're talking about a relatively modest increase. The lot coverage from 30.7 to 34.8. Thoughts from board members on whether you consider that to be substantial? I mean, it's less than 5%.
Yeah.
It's about 4%. I think I'm inclined to say.
But
No.
it's 9% over 20.
True. That's a good point. I think no, that's a good point, Susan. It's a good point, Member Shannon. I would say that, 9% probably is substantial over the limit, but I would say that it is comparable with the neighborhood and many properties throughout the
Right.
village.
Right, it's already non-conforming.
Yeah.
This is just, right.
Yeah, substantial over the limit, but the increase from existing conditions to what they're requesting is not substantial.
Right.
So as for the any adverse impacts, the applicant submits that the project will not lead to any negative environmental or physical impacts on the neighborhood or neighboring properties. It'll include recognized green strategies for stormwater management, habitat creation with incorporation of infiltration gardens and use of many native plants. Sounds to me like the environmental impact would be positive.
Yeah.
So I would say it will not have any adverse effect or impact. Anybody have any other thoughts you want to share on that one? All right. As for whether it is self-created, the applicant submits that the owners are proposing these outdoor improvements, but much of the need for the requested variance stems from the pre-existing conditions. I think we would say that it probably is self-created, but that it's self-created, but the existing conditions almost constrain them to do it. I mean, I think I'd say it is self-created, but that alone isn't a reason to deny it, given that the existing conditions make this the least intrusive way of achieving what they're trying to achieve here.
Okay.
And then I guess that kind of leads into the next one, is it the minimum necessary? I believe it is, because to get the relief that they're asking for, which is to build this, I don't see that you could feasibly do that with less than what they're asking for. Anybody have any additional?
Well, it could be a smaller spot, but, so I wouldn't say this is the minimum necessary. It's just, we could say the minimum necessary to, meet their,
Achieve their goals.
yeah, great.
Yeah. Now, correct me, Mindy, we do need to find that it is the minimum necessary in order to approve, correct?
Yes.
So we do need to find that it is the minimum necessary, but maybe what we can say is it's the minimum necessary to provide this relief that they're requesting. Maybe not the minimum necessary to build anything at all, but it is a minimum necessary to build the outdoor dining area that they are asking for.
So to achieve their goals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in that context, I think it's also useful to re-reference the carriage barn and the
Right.
chicken.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, if those outbuildings weren't there, they'd
It
be
would
under.
be easy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't even need the
Right.
variance, and so, we're
Right.
allowing them to do this while maintaining historic structures, basically. All right. As for the physical characteristics of the property, again, it's the historic buildings. And yeah, I think I would add to that maybe the fact that the shape of the lot
Yeah,
requires that kind of, yeah.
it's such a great funky space.
Yeah.
Right, with those chicken coop.
Yeah. Yeah, you really do need that parking court in
Yeah.
order to safely go in and out. And, yeah,
And that's worth mentioning also
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I
in the
agree.
findings.
Yeah,
Right, that Jefferson Road is a state speedway,
right,
right?
Busy thoroughfare.
Yeah, right.
And
So-
that, for the safety of the residents and the people who are traveling on Jefferson Road.
right,
And pedestrians and.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Anybody think there are any other additional findings that we should note? All right. Now, before we move to approve it, does anybody think there should be any conditions that should attach if we approve? Our standard conditions are what, that they get a building permit within a year
Mhm.
and get HPV approval?
Do you,
Yes.
You do?
Well, because.
It's not a structure, that's
Well,
what.
the pavilion might be, just wanted to cover all bases. Building inspector suggested we get HPP approval for the moving the fence
okay.
and the pavilion. Just to cover our bases.
But
So-
you might not necessarily need it, right?
So we're-
Said if it's slightly visible, it's probably the smart thing to do.
Okay.
So.
Okay,
Wow.
so it's unclear whether it's legally required or not.
Well, we've applied.
Okay.
Because at his request.
Okay, but the building inspector has asked them to apply for approval from the HPV, so I think it makes sense to include the HPV approval condition. Any other conditions that we should include? Maybe that the coverage won't exceed the 34.8? do we need to include that as a condition if we've already?
That's what we've
That's what you
approved.
did last time.
Yeah,
So for consistency, I would say you do it.
okay.
And the other two conditions you had on the lot coverage variance you just amended were that all required permits and approvals must be obtained prior to construction, and no changes to grading or draining may adversely impact adjacent properties.
Right. Okay.
Do you use the chicken coop?
We
Is it,
do,
what,
it's gone through phases. When we first moved in, it was very dilapidated, the floor was caving in.
Oh,
So
boy.
we bolstered it up a bit, so now you can actually go inside of it and open the doors and use it, yeah.
wow,
Yeah,
Is that like a slab floor in there or?
it's always, well, ever since we've owned it, it's been wood.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a basement under it or?
No, there's no basement, it's just one,
Crawl
I mean,
space or
they actually
something?
had the hatches, where you take the eggs out and on the
Oh,
sides
wow.
of it, yeah.
Hmm.
So it was a functioning chicken coop at some point, I don't know when.
Yeah, interesting.
It's interesting, I think predating that, it was like a steelworks sort of spot.
Oh,
Interesting.
right, the
There's-
smithery.
There's, I don't know.
Oh.
12 by 12 area where there is a slab, where they had heavy equipment attached.
Oh,
That's right, I
wow.
forgot about
And then
that.
they did
Huh.
away with that.
so there's a chimney.
Sorry.
Is there a fireplace?
There was a fireplace in there.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
It's a cool little space. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
the rooms in the house are kind of smaller, and so it gives us a little space that's more open.
yeah, that's pretty cool. I know we've got a few residents in the village that do maintain chickens.
Yeah.
Right.
I know, we
We have
consider
a
that,
house there.
yeah, we always
Yeah.
think about that, you're right.
We would have a lot of chickens.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you have
It's a good size coop, right?
you got a full, poultry ranch going.
It's not quite the operation for that size.
All right. Well, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and move to approve the lot coverage variance. And I guess we'll need a second.
One second.
Member Powers,
Aye.
member Loda,
Aye.
member Vanderswag,
Hi.
member Shannon,
Aye.
Chair Cook,
All right,
motion passes.
okay. All right, now our next one is the site plan. All right. Okay, so the first several, I think, are the same as we discussed before. Let's see, we've got the lot coverage at 34.8, that's correct. So I think we can go ahead and jump right in. First is the building inspector has reviewed the project for zoning code compliance. And the applicant has applied for required variances to the zoning code. We didn't hear anything from Steve about any concerns, so I think we can say that that is true. As far as second, the project conforms with the comp plan and local waterfront revitalization program. I think for the reasons that Susan mentioned, we can say that the LWRP does not apply.
Right.
Or that is not subject to the LWRP.
Right.
And then as far as the comp plan, I think we can say that it conforms with the comp plan. There's no concerns, and if anything, it enhances the property and improves, or at least maintains safety.
Right, and again, enhances kind of the environmental sustainability
Yeah,
and water, what, water
Drainage,
drainage, yeah, but it's also being purified, right?
Right.
Or
Right,
it's
yeah,
gonna be
we're-
cleansed,
Right,
so
through
that's,
the infiltration garden.
right,
yeah,
those are
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Um,
good things.
adequacy and arrangement of vehicular traffic and circulation, seems to me that it's unchanged.
Mhm.
Adequacy and arrangement of pedestrian and bicyclist access and circulation, I would say also is unchanged. Compatibility to adjacent uses, I would say, outdoor dining space in a residential area is compatible.
Right, and it's also, the fencing benefits neighbors as well,
Yeah,
right? So it's, privacy for neighbors,
yeah, and enhanced privacy.
yeah.
Adequacy of off-street parking, loading and access, unchanged. Adequacy of landscaping and screening provisions, it sounds like they've done a great job with
Yeah.
fencing and landscape screening.
Mhm.
And like we mentioned, the drainage, the way that the drainage considerations are worked into the landscaping, I would say it is adequate.
Who is it?
Signage, not applicable. What about outdoor lighting? Is there any lighting going to be?
Just lighting required on the house at points of egress, and then we'll
Sure.
have some low level lighting just to navigate.
Just, walkway?
Garden lighting.
Okay. There's not gonna be any lights inside the pavilion?
There will likely be electric in the pavilion, just for evening use. Yes.
Sure.
But it will
The
be,
downlight, so
Okay.
it's not gonna be, it will
Right.
be kind of a nice ambiance type light.
Yeah, okay. And then, as far as I know the code has certain provisions for the temperature of the lighting.
Well, right, and I'd say we will be using more of a warm, not like commercial lighting, it'll be at a temperature scale around 2700 Kelvin, which is a warm kind of light. It's nice, nice in residential areas.
Well, based on that, I think we can say that the lighting is both adequate for safety concerns and that they are taking precautions to prevent light trespass, light pollution, given it's all down lighting and that sort of thing.
yeah, perfect.
As far as drainage and stormwater systems, it sounds like we have heard that there are plans to address drainage adequately, and it sounds like our building inspector did not have any concerns about that. Okay. As far as adequacy of water and sanitary systems, it sounds to me like that is unchanged. And then adequacy of waste and trash management, I think, is also unchanged.
Isn't there gonna be additional, didn't you carve out some screening for
We actually
the,
are tucking it away now, so it'll be hidden.
yeah,
Oh, okay, so it's not unchanged, it's improved.
Right,
Right.
that's one thing we try to accomplish with the project.
Mhm.
Hide it better.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Now, when we talk about adequacy of waste and trash management plans, that's, Mindy, just correct me, that is for what the project is going to look like when it's done. That's not
Correct,
for us to look at, what are you doing with the construction waste?
correct,
That's a building permit issue.
correct.
Okay. All right. So adequacy of snow removal plans seems unchanged to me. And then finally, well, second to last, whether the proposal will adversely affect the health, safety, and general welfare of the adjacent property owners and the community. Seems to me that it will improve it, if anything.
I mean, just to be, flesh it out a little bit, improve privacy features for neighbors.
Yeah, improved privacy, improved environmental conditions.
Yeah.
Improved aesthetics. Okay.
The trash enclosure also improves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right, yeah. Okay, good. And then finally, fire marshal reviewed the site plan and made following observations. There were no concerns raised by fire marshal. Okay.
How does a fire truck get back to the, I won't go there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good question, but not necessary, I think, for this application.
It's not effective.
Yeah, yeah. All right,
Pre-existing.
yeah,
Good old priest.
that's right. Pre-existing non-conforming use. Anybody have any other thoughts or considerations that you think we should be thinking about before we go ahead and vote on this one? All right. Well, hearing none, I will go ahead and move to approve the site plan as discussed.
Second?
Member Loda,
Aye.
member Vanderswag.
Aye.
Member Powers,
Aye.
member Shannon,
Aye.
Chair Cook,
Aye.
motion passes.
All right. Well, congratulations. Good luck with the project. Hope it all goes well and
Thank you.
goes smoothly.
Yes, we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Is the plan to hopefully have it done before winter this year, or you're looking at doing it next year?
Let's see. We can line up the right people.
Yeah. Oh, well, good luck with it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of a nice
It's
thing.
such cool property. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
We often invite ourselves. I usually don't.
Forget all about you after the
Jean, were these yours?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Second, how, do you know the strength of them?
It's not very, they're not very strong. I think they're 1.5,
Oh, wow.
Okay.
maybe.
Yeah, I think I might invest in a pair because I'm always forgetting my glasses.
Oh, see, I just go to BJ's and get a package
Yeah.
of 3.
Oh, well, there you go.
Because they get squashed and they throw them in bags and stuff. I don't worry about those. These ones are like the eye doctor ones, so.
All right, let's see. I got all mixed up. There we go.
So I have to leave pretty soon.
Okay,
Because my situation is at home has more, I'm required to be, I need to be home more.
okay.
So I'm going to
No problem.
excuse myself, yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Do you need to leave right now, or are you?
I need to.
Okay, no
Yeah,
problem, that's fine.
I've got care until 8.
Okay, no problem. What should we go ahead and proceed without Susan, or should we
Some of
put
these-
these off for the next?
Some of these we can't. Like,
Do you need, am I needed for the quorum?
yeah,
Oh,
I think.
Just,
Yeah.
No, you have.
well, no, we have a
Still a
quorum. Yeah, we still have a quorum.
No, but they can't approve these people.
But they can-
All
But
right.
if they familiarize themselves with
Oh,
the
okay, okay.
meeting, like if they watch the meeting online, they can
Well,
vote on it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Mindy, but my understanding is that if we have a quorum present, even if members abstain, those that do not abstain can still pass the resolution, correct? Or am I wrong on that?
No, I think that you need to pass them by a majority of those, you still have to pass by a majority
Okay.
of the board as constituted.
Okay, a majority of those that are here.
Not a
No.
majority of those who are here, a majority of the board as constituted.
Okay, okay.
So if the board is 5, you need
We
3.
need 3. Okay, understood. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Even if some folks abstain, the abstention essentially counts as a no vote.
Correct.
Got it, okay.
Or the vote fails, right?
I
Same
see,
thing,
okay.
Right.
Yes.
It can't be a
Well,
majority.
why
of
don't we
the
excuse
quorum.
Susan?
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm-
yeah, sorry, we don't need to do this with you here.
Right,
Yeah.
sorry.
Thank you.
Why don't we let you go
I
and,
apologize and.
no need.
Yeah, but, so, if, Joanne, if you wouldn't mind bringing up, if you get to it, or if it's appropriate, some of our requests regarding applications to, if it,
Okay.
if it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Susan.
Yeah, no,
Goodbye.
no, yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Okay.
All
I
right.
think we can get through 7, 8, and 9 as appropriate from the amount of board members that it constitutes.
Okay. All right, so, let's see. Have a good night, Susan. 3, 4.
Resolutions, okay.
So, let's see, 3, 6, 8.
So you said 7, 8, 9 are the ones you think we can do?
I believe so, yes.
Because those are the ones from July, right? So we'll leave the May ones until Susan can be here. At least for now. And then we'll focus on 7, 8, and 9.
Oh, it's Michael there.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So, I didn't see any substantive changes on 7 that I wanted to make, but I did note a couple of things. The address, I think, should be the address of the property.
Or it could be included under action where.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
the project is a garage, I think it should be under the project, which is garage expansion at 45 Monroe.
Okay.
And then the action would be the area variant, the lot coverage variance,
And this is the height.
the height variance. Got it.
right, so action would be height variance.
Right.
Instead of construction of 19.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. And then I just had a very minor formatting change. Once we get down into the letters for the findings, the last one, G, looks like it was in bold. So we should probably just
Oh, mine's not like
Oh, interesting.
Mine is.
Yeah, mine is.
Mine's. Now that you say it, I didn't notice
Yeah,
it
hey,
before.
not a big deal, but just to keep it consistent.
And I would just ask that you reference the date of the application that was being
Yes.
approved.
So let's see, where would we put that? Applicant.
You can just say the above named applicant submitted an application dated whatever seeking relief pursuant to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
First whereas clause.
Yeah,
Or on the second one, the board receives and review the application from the applicant dated blah, blah, blah.
yeah. Okay. Good. Anybody have any other changes or thoughts on that one? I'll go ahead and then move to approve the resolution 2025-7 amended as discussed.
Second.
So, I'm sorry, just one more question. There was no condition that the, of a building permit being issued within a year for this one?
Oh, I would have to look at the minutes. We usually do include that.
It's not a standing condition on the worksheet itself, so
Okay.
I can double check as part of the revision or amendment, that's
Okay.
fine.
I mean, if we didn't,
If it's not part of the resolution, you
Yeah.
discuss it, it can't be
right,
in this.
right. So let's double check that and maybe come back to this one. So I guess we'll table that for now. Thank you for noticing that, Mindy. Okay. So next one is 2025-8. I think we would want to say, add where it says project garage expansion at 45 Monroe.
And the action would be a height variance.
Yeah. Or would it be height variance?
No,
or would
this
it
is,
be-
no,
it'd be
no,
site
site
plan?
plan.
Site plan.
I'm
This is
sorry,
the
I'm
site
sorry.
plan.
You're right.
Yeah, site plan approval.
Mhm.
I have a question about whether we use, whenever we use major and minor to describe a site plan, when should we use that?
I don't think that the village code differentiates between major and minor.
Yeah, I looked at that once with Justin, it's not very clear.
There should be, in most municipalities have separate definitions for major and minor, and they also have separate application requirements and some slightly different review requirements, but my recollection is that Pittsburgh does not.
It does.
There are different requirements, but it's
The review,
yeah, it's,
so, maybe I'm wrong, okay, never mind. Talks about major site plan review.
yeah, it has a section for major and a section for minor, but it doesn't,
But it doesn't define what they are.
It doesn't. have
yeah,
a-
not very clearly anyway.
Doesn't have
Well, it says that minor site plan review shall be required for minor subdivisions. It's under 210-34-2A, sorry.
Yeah, I remember.
Look at this and then I forgot.
We
And then
looked
it
at
says
this
major
with
site
the-
plan shall be required for.
Yeah,
So essentially, it bootstraps onto chapter
Exactly.
178.
yeah. Yeah, I remember this was an issue when we were dealing with the firehouse stuff.
Right.
And the line between them was not super clear. It was like, this is major, and minor is everything that's not major, or something like that. So,
Right.
yeah.
this one specifically, if you remember.
We made it major.
Yeah, you guys had to amend, the applicant had to
That's
amend the
right.
application, and we double checked the
We
notice.
did, that's
Yeah.
right.
So should we say that
Yes.
under decision on major site plan? At the very top, under resolution 2025-8?
Or should it be under action, major site plan?
It would be an act, it would be under the action,
Major site plan approval.
yeah.
Okay.
And then
Do we
again,
need to note that somewhere?
so then again, under the,
It's in the last, and now therefore.
yes,
Oh, yeah,
But it
there it is.
just
Uh-huh.
I noted it.
right, it just says major, okay, that's
Oh,
why.
it says it here,
And then, again, the second now therefore,
Well, why don't we just, the first time we say it, why don't we just say parentheses, site plan approval, and then we don't have to find it in
Okay.
the other place.
okay.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. I wanted just I almost hesitate to even bring it up, but just as a formatting thing, I don't know that it's necessary to have under our, what is it, 1, 2, 3, third whereas clause, where we do the number 1, seeker, A, proposed action, 2, I don't know if we need the A, I think we can
There's
maybe.
no, you're right, there's no B.
Yeah, there's no B, so we don't need an A, we can just
Okay.
do parentheses and go straight into it. That's my thought, but that's really an aesthetic issue more than anything. And I think I would probably say the same thing for under 1A of the findings.
On 11, can we correct the spelling for sewer?
Yes.
That's a,
Sewer.
it keeps happening.
S-W-E-E-R.
I know, it's like keeps
Yeah.
being carried through.
Yeah.
Your number 1 building, the building inspector has reviewed, you actually have 2 options to that, and you guys end up choosing one of the options. So there is a B, but A is the choice.
But we don't need to have the letter A there.
Okay, so just put the choices.
Yeah, I think it's good to keep in our standard template, keep the choices, but when we get to the final one, we'll just put whatever one we chose.
Right, and then as we discussed with the amendments in paragraph 2, it should read the project conforms with the Pittsburgh Village Comprehensive Plan and is not subject to local waterfront revitalization.
Yeah. Okay.
And were the plan is dated May 7th or May 6th?
The site plan?
Yeah.
For this one?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know off the top of my head, but I would have got it straight from there. Did you have May 6th on something?
When I looked at the submission for tonight's meeting, for the amended one, it looked to me like it was the 6th, but these
tiny.
numbers are.
I was like,
I know.
I know you can read that.
Well, I put on my glasses,
Let me check while you guys are looking at the
And-
other areas.
yeah, so it looked like a 6 to me.
Okay.
I see the 7th very clearly.
Okay, well then, you have
We'll
better
go with
eyes than I
that.
have.
Okay, well, I did
She can zoom.
That's right, you can zoom. All right,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And
so,
number 4,
yeah, go ahead.
I think we talked about how this would improve the safety of the pedestrians by the cars being able to not back out, but turn around and go out forward.
We talked about that tonight, I don't remember if we talked about
We
that in
did.
July.
Yeah, we did.
So improved safety, just add improved safety.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
I watched that whole meeting again today,
Wow.
because I couldn't remember.
I looked at my notes, but that was as far as I got.
Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts on this one? All right, I will go ahead and move to approve resolution 2025-8 as amended as discussed.
Second,
Member Vandersloot?
Aye.
Thank you. Member Powers, you can abstain, because you weren't at the meeting.
I was not at the meeting, no.
Member Shannon?
aye.
Chair Cook?
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right. I don't think I had any changes on the minutes.
I don't think it was a special meeting, no.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, you're
that
right,
gives
that was
me
a regular
every
meeting.
time
Yeah,
The title.
This last page. Curious why it was special.
yeah.
Sometimes we have them.
I'm just like wondering.
Yeah, good catch.
Short and sweet.
Yeah. All right, if nobody has any other changes on that, I'll go ahead and move to amend the minutes, or to approve the minutes with the one change that we discussed to the title.
Second,
Member Powers?
Sure.
Abstain?
I abstain.
Thank you. Member Vandersloot?
Yeah,
Oh.
I
You
wasn't
weren't at
there.
that meeting?
I wasn't there. No, sorry.
It's okay.
oh,
Well, we may have
Motion
to,
fails.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely fails.
I know, I was just
We
looking at that, I was like, no.
may have to table that, bring it up next week.
this is just,
Where are you?
no, I'm never mind.
That's the
Yeah.
today one, right?
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't here. So.
That's, oh, yeah, that's one of the ones that we have to, the other, goes with the other main ones.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm.
Okay. So we, do we need to make a motion to table the others, or can we just?
I didn't list them on the agenda, I just said draft minute approval, so we
Okay,
can put them to the next meeting.
all right, we'll do that then. All right. Well, in that case, unless anybody has anything else to bring up, I will move. Oh,
Could I have 2 minutes?
please, John, yes.
I got a couple things, and my first comment is I want to thank everybody, including Alexandria and Lindsay, for what you guys do, because it's really an important part of the community.
Yes.
I believe it, and it is much appreciated. I would just ask everybody to keep track of their training requirements, working through Jared and Alexandria, so that we don't get into, finger pointing later on in the year. The mayor asked me, to look at some ways to work with you guys to streamline the process. And I've talked with her, I've talked with Mindy, I've talked with Alexandria, and I'm trying to get some time set up with Chairman Cook. And then we'll put together some thoughts and bring the board together. I would even like to have like a special meeting or a workshop where we can kick some stuff around and see what we can do to make it easier for you guys and, make the process a little bit smoother. And the last thing I wanted to know is, would you guys be willing to have a student liaison? We've had one on the town planning board for, God, at least the last 10 years. And we mostly pulled out of Pittsburgh Mendon, and that's just because of the kids that were available. I've had one for the last 3 years up there. He's now going to the Vassar Honor College for municipal government.
Cool.
I had another one that went to Holy Cross and just graduated from Albany Law. And all of these schools, you know, we end up giving the kids recommendations, and the schools love it.
Yeah.
And the kids get, you know, we have to approve it at the village board level. But, you know, at the common, they would sit at the table, they get a package just like everybody else. They can't comment.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're part of the process,
Sure.
you know, and we could even do it. We have more room up at the town. And he usually sits next to the attorney, between the attorney and the liaison, so that there's a lot of, if you don't understand this, that, or the other thing. But I'd like you guys to think about it.
I love the idea,
If
yeah.
you're willing, I'd go talk to the principal over in Sutherland and say, hey, is there somebody, you know, that would want to do that? So
Yeah.
if you could think about it and shoot me your thoughts, I'd really appreciate it. And it's all.
I'm in favor.
Yeah, I love the idea. I think it's great. I guess one question I have, John, is how does that work? Is it when we say liaison? Usually when I hear liaison, I'm thinking it's liaison between us and somebody else.
That's what we call them.
Yeah.
You know, you could call them a student representative, you know.
Participant.
I would ask Mindy, maybe give us a title, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Innocuous and, you know, it's just.
Okay.
a kid- We usually give them that
Be
are
a student
juniors.
ambassador.
There you
Do you
go.
want one that's a village resident, or doesn't it matter?
If they're going to
Good
Sutherland.
question, if they're in Sutherland, no, they're probably visual.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
I don't know,
actually
I'm
not.
just-
not
I just
necessarily.
didn't
No,
know
not
if it mattered,
necessarily.
or,
I wouldn't
It's
want to try that invert, you know.
Yeah.
We usually get juniors and keep them for 2 years. You
Yeah.
know, and it's just really good for the kids, I think.
Yeah.
no, it doesn't hurt.
I love the
at all.
idea. I think it's a
Yeah,
great
it's
idea.
right.
Yeah. As long as they wouldn't be bored to tears.
So far,
It's
so good.
interesting work.
And John, is it, the way you've done it is in the past, is it usually one student that does it for so long, or do there are a couple that rotate?
What we've done is we picked them up as juniors and kept them through their senior year.
Okay,
You know, and some of them have to take time off in the summer to work,
sure.
different things, but, you know, they've been pretty good about being there, being attentive,
Yeah,
asking questions and whatnot, so, you know.
cool. Do you usually have just one per board, or do you have a couple?
Well, the mayor has said she'd like to do it with the other boards as well, you know, but I'm just worried about this one here.
Right. No, I think it sounds great. I love the idea.
Now, when you talk about streamlining, what are you talking about?
Just different ways that we could look at the process, you know. I'm also the building inspector, that's my retirement job out in Rush. And we have, for the planning board specifically, we have meetings with the applicants before they actually get in before you guys. And there's enough time between the application process and the public hearing, where if their applications aren't complete, you know, we give them, you know, the opportunity, you know, to, okay, you need this, and this, you know, on some of the applications, you might need the village engineer there. You know, you might need Steve there, you know, different things, just to say, okay, hey, we know you're gonna need this, we know you're gonna need that, now you've got opportunity to get it into us, you know.
I think
before
that
the
would be
meeting.
really
It
helpful.
would.
You know, a lot of the stuff would be
Mhm.
working with Mindy on your, the resolutions and whatnot.
to make
have
sure
a lot of
they're
that stuff,
crisp, yeah.
Done ahead of time.
Yeah.
You know, as complete as it can be, you know, templates, you know, Alexandria's got a huge part in this. In
Oh, yeah.
making sure that what she gets, she's got the right numbers, the right, you
It's
know.
the right
this type of
material to
stuff.
put
So,
it together, yeah.
yeah, it's just a different way. Out in Rush, the planning board chairman or chairperson, she comes to the meeting, but she's also retired. But, you know, we kind of kicked around an idea, would it be a good idea to have a different member attend a meeting like that?
We could rotate
Just so
that, yeah.
people can get a little more comfortable
Yeah.
with the process, you know?
Yeah.
So, it's just little things like that. It's tweaks and, you know, how do we make it easier for you guys to serve the residents?
Right,
Sounds
right.
great.
So,
Good
you know,
idea.
but
and make it as painless as possible for the people that are
Right,
applying.
because they have to sit here for 2 hours and
But
they're like.
it's tough, like this thing with 45 Monroe. I mean,
Yeah.
could we have caught that sooner and they didn't have to come back again? you
Right.
know?
Right,
So,
might have been shorter for
Yeah.
the applicant instead of months to get stuff, so they
Right.
can start their project, it could go faster.
exactly, because, they lost time, this
Right.
summer, construction time, so.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I hate most is when we approve something, but there was some technical issue and they have to come back and then, that's a month that they're.
Yeah,
Well, that's when we have special meetings.
that's when you get like your black eye,
This
like,
board
no,
is you guys are
it's
zoning
hard to
influence.
work with.
Exactly.
That's what
No,
you-
but we make a point of saying, we don't want you to wait another month.
Right.
Right,
yeah.
well, I know, but that's what how people,
I know.
boil it down and say that.
So it's nothing revolutionary, it's just, how can we
Yeah.
make things better for everybody?
I love it.
Me too. Anything we can do to improve is always good.
So that's all I got, unless you guys have got something you want me to take back to the board.
Not right now. Maybe we'll have some proposed changes to the code after we look at the major and minor site plan. Maybe we'll have some,
I wrote a note to follow up with you guys on it, just to make sure you got what you need. And,
Okay.
You're one of the better boards to do that too, because, you're working with it every different meeting, so.
Yeah.
Between you and Steve, so.
yeah.
Right.
I think right now we don't have anything, but,
Don't
Thank you.
hesitate.
yeah, yeah.
So. Good. That's all I got.
All right.
All right.
Very good. Well, we better move to close. So I'll go ahead and move to close the meeting.
Member Shannon?
Aye.
Member Towers?
I.
Member Vanderside?
Aye.
Chair Cook?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
you,
you.
John.
You, John.
Thank you.
Have a great